Hi guys, welcome to A Daily Change of Mind. I got just a few minutes here and I wanted to bring you a video real quickly today is March 5th, 2019. It's been a little while, but I wanted to quickly bring you a video today to maybe encourage you if you're facing any struggles today, discouragement in the spirit, so on and so forth. I know I've had a little bit today myself of discouragement. I wanted to bring you a video today to help you out in this need. And if you go to Matthew chapter 14, starting in verse 22, it says, "And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship, and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone, but the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, and the wind was contrary." Are you having struggle in the spirit today, feeling like the waves that you're in the ship being tossed around and the water around you is crashing around you and you feel like you're going to sink with the ship? I felt a little bit like that today, and maybe some of you are dealing with some type of issue in your life that you feel like you're being tossed around with the ship. And you don't know what to do. Well, to kind of give you I thought I'd bring this video and give you a quick encouragement of what not to do. For one, what not to do is to stay in the ship with your eyes focused on the waves and the storm and everything that's banging you around and tossing you round about. What we need to do, and what we need to remind ourselves to do, is to focus our attention on Jesus. And not just focus our attention on Jesus, but to get out of the boat. Don't just sit in the boat focusing on your circumstances. As we continue on reading in Matthew 14, "And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. And straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if thou bid me, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And when they were come into the ship, the wind was ceased. And then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth thou art the Son of God." What I'm wanting to get out of this real quickly is that in the midst of our troubles, we have a tendency to want to stay in the ship, cowering in fear. But that's not what Jesus wants from us. What Jesus wants from us is to place our eyes on him in the midst of our troubles, when we're being tossed around by our struggles that we're facing, and get out of the boat and walk on water. If we place our eyes focused on Jesus, we can walk on more water than anybody else, spiritually speaking. And take our eyes off the troubles that we are seeing. It kind of reminds me of Psalms 55:22. David speaking, in which he says, "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee." To cast our burden means that when we are carrying a heavy load of burdens, you hurl it away from you unto the Lord. And we are instructed to cast our burdens upon the Lord, hurl it away from our lives. I got written down, this is not just throwing your burdens away casually, but using force to do it. To hurl those burdens, those trials, those hardships away from you onto the Lord. It doesn't mean that your burdens or hardships or struggles that you are facing will disappear. As in the case of Peter, the wind was still there. It was still rocking the boat. But if you notice that when Peter got out of the boat, as in casting his fears upon the Lord, when he placed his eyes strictly upon the Lord, he got out of the boat and he walked on water. Peter walked on more water than anybody else in the face of history save Jesus. The burdens were still there. The waves were still crashing. The wind was still blowing. But in that moment of time, while he placed his eyes upon Jesus and placed his fear upon Jesus, he got out of the boat and he walked on water. We may fail, but Jesus is not going to leave us in failure. As it continues on to say in Psalms 55, it says, "Cast your burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee." Think about it. Peter got out of the boat. He walked on water. He cast his burdens, his fear upon the Lord Jesus and placed his eyes strictly upon Jesus, and he walked on water to Jesus. And it wasn't until he looked up and he saw the winds and everything that was still there that he started to sink. But if you think about it, it says, "And when he saw the winds boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, Lord, save thee." And what does it say in Psalms 55? "He shall sustain thee if we cast our burdens upon thee." And what does it say in Matthew? It says, "Immediately Jesus stretched forth his hands and caught him and said unto him, Why did you doubt? I will sustain you," in other words. And if you think about it, it says, "And when they were come into the ship." So obviously they still had to walk on water to get to the ship. If we cast our burdens upon the Lord, keep our eyes focused on him. If we think we're going to sink, the Lord's there to sustain us, and we will continue to walk on water with him. As it says in Psalms 55, "He shall sustain thee." So whatever your problems you are facing today, again, this is going to be a short video, I'm running out of time. Whatever problems you are facing today, don't stay in the ship and go down with the ship sinking. Cast your burdens upon the Lord. Place your eyes strictly upon Jesus. Get out of the boat that is sinking. Walk to Jesus. And if you place your eyes back on your circumstances, he's there to catch you and to lift you up and to sustain you. And you will continue on walking on the water. So that was my quick message to you. If you find yourself in the midst of trials, discouragement in the spirit, place your eyes on Jesus, cast your burdens, hurl them upon the Lord Jesus and get out of the boat and walk with him. And that's my message to you today. I hope you enjoy it. If you see this, like it, share it, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. See you later. Let's faith on the Lord. Keep our faith on the Lord, our eyes focused on him, and casting our burdens upon him. He shall sustain us and shall lift us up and save us. And we shall continue to walk with Jesus on water. That's my message. I'll talk to y'all later.